Ladies and gentlemen, the event will start in 10 minutes. Please start taking your seats. We will commence in 10 minutes. Thank you very much.
2, 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will commence in 2 minutes. We will commence in 2 minutes. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, can I please ask you to take your seats? We will start in 30 seconds, and we will ask you to kindly put your phones on a silent mode. Thank you very much. unbelievable. I mean, look at this room, unbelievable. I guess it's official now. This conference hall is no longer adequate enough to accommodate our ever-expanding events. So I guess we're going to have to speed up the construction of our larger conference hall, which is good news because this is a very good indicator of the fact that there is an increasing interest in our market from the international business community. Right, a fascinating start of a wonderful and a very interesting day that we are enjoying here together with you, ladies and gentlemen, are we not? Folks, name is Bahadur Ayupov. I humbly serve as the CEO of IT Park University, joining you here today as your moderator. For the next couple of hours, we will engage you in a row of very interesting presentations, starting all the way with the one that will give you a bird's-eye view on what you are signing yourself into. Successful business in Uzbekistan. With all the programs of support and incentives that the government has cooked up for you. To be short, it's about the way we will take you by your hand, escort you to your new office, sit you down by your desk, and say, here you go, honey, time to make some money. We also invited a handful of companies who were once in your seats with the same curious eyes, and now ready to share how it all went for them. These are companies who once came here with little to no information about Uzbekistan. Companies who came with the question, who are you? So in case you have the same question, ladies and gentlemen, this is who we are.
Strategic location connecting Europe and Asia. We're 37 million people, the largest in Central Asia. We are 60% of the population under 30. We're 6% GDP growth rate. We are the fourth most affordable city in the world. We are ninth, the safest country. We're 22nd lowest internet cost. We are a country with 99% of internet coverage. With 99.99% literacy rate. We are 5 million English speakers. We're over than 100,000 IT talents. We're more than 2,200 tech-based enterprises. We're more than 700 IT export-oriented companies. We're more than 500 foreign companies. We are a 0% tax rate for IT companies. We are fully committed to fostering innovation and entrepreneurship. We are a new outsourcing destination.
This is who we are. To be very short. Now, fun part about working with incoming foreign companies is seeing this, what we call cognitive dissonance, or to see this difference between what they expected and what they see. Because, to be honest, a lot of companies, a lot of people come to Uzbekistan with a lot of stereotypes about Uzbekistan, about what Uzbekistan is. And it's always fun to see how those stereotypes are crushed, shattered in no time. Now, here's one very interesting stereotype for you. Ministers are politicians. They usually are too engaged in high political matters of the sphere that the reality of details on the battlefield often remain outside the scope of their attention. We are lucky enough to have a real fighter in the position of our minister. The minister who successfully attends the political matters and immediately rolls up his sleeves and joins our ranks to lead the way. This is one of the main ingredients of our success. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in greeting the Minister of Digital Technologies of the Republic of Uzbekistan, Mr. Sherzod Sarmatov.
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, dear guests. I'm very honored to see you here all. Actually, this is a kind of hottest day in Uzbekistan, and I might say that this is the hottest event in Uzbekistan as well. And I'm very honored to see you, and I was just asking Farhad about the number of international visitors, and it's good to see that about 200 international visitors are attending this event. This is a good achievement, and I see that there are so many people are standing, and I also join the words of Bahadur that we have to expedite the building of the next stage of the IT Park Uzbekistan. This area is just the first stage, and we are building the next stage where we will have a much bigger conference room, which will help us to fit more of your guests and more of your events, and we would be happy to see you there as well. And I just want to welcome you. You are very much welcome in Uzbekistan, and Uzbekistan is very dynamically growing. I was seeing the statistics in the video clip that it states that GDP growth was 6%. Of course, last year it was 6%, but first half of this year it's 6.4%. And you can witness that Uzbekistan, for those of you who have visited Uzbekistan 7 years ago and now, you can see the huge difference. And this is due to the political will of His Excellency President Mirziyoyev to open up the country, to make sure that the country becomes one of the most developed countries. And he has also a very great vision to make Uzbekistan an IT hub, so that we are, as a government, very much committed to make sure that we will be continually creating for you the best conditions for growing your business with us. This is our main message. We help to grow your business with us. So far, since 2017, we have established the best taxation regime. So we have seen tremendous increase in numbers of IT companies. Already 2,200 IT companies are registered with IT Park Uzbekistan. And from just this year, we started promotion campaign. And we saw that up to today, since the beginning of this year, we have more than 250 new companies with foreign capital registered as the residents of IT Park. This is a huge growth. And of course, we are very much interested in a long-term partnership. So we are not just going to see the just company to be registered, but we are going to create a comprehensive system of soft lending, of aftercare for those companies who are new to our Uzbek market, who are experiencing the new challenges. And we are very much interested to expand our education branch as well, to make sure that all the regions of Uzbekistan, you will have a higher quality specialist. If you Google about Uzbekistan up until 2016, since even the Soviet time, you could read the news that Uzbekistan was very much involved in forced labor in cotton. So instead of people going to education, or they were going to cotton fields, etc., etc. These are all the old histories. Since 2017, as I said, under the leadership of our president, we have started comprehensive education reform. We expanded preschool education coverage from almost inexistent to up to the almost full coverage of the preschool level kids. So we have made the tremendous education reform in the schools. We have connected all the schools with high-speed internet. We have reviewed the curriculum. We have implemented together with the US colleagues the English-speaking nation projects, so that upon graduation we will have a more and more better English speakers. And of course, at the higher education level, we opened up the higher education market. So now we have so many international universities working in Uzbekistan. So this means that I would like to ask you to look for the long term for Uzbekistan, so that the upcoming cohort of the graduates will be much better prepared for your business needs. And for those of you who are looking to leverage on the costs, I would also suggest to look for the regions. Since capital of city of Tashkent, of course, it's growing. It's dynamically growing, and you can see there's so many companies coming. And it's natural that this drives the cost of doing businesses a little bit higher. But we have very good regions. We have Fergana Valley, we have Kashkadarya, Surkhandarya, we have Karakalpakstan, where so many young people eager to work for the affordable salary, and we are heavily investing in their capacity building, in their education. We are going to compensate your costs on education, and we are subsidizing all the education IT Park residents who are successfully preparing the graduates to work for you in the future. So this is a message which I want to deliver. Of course, these are not all the details. We have the special presentation for you to deliver all the details, but I want to deliver the message that at the highest level, at the level of the president, we have a good political will and the vision to make Uzbekistan the IT hub, and we as the ministry are ready to hear any of your proposals while you are here. What can we do to change in our legislation, in our environment, to serve you better, to help to grow your business with us, and to be, for you to be more confident in looking for Uzbekistan for the long term. Thank you all. Once again, enjoy being here.
Sharzod Khadamish, thank you very much for the inspiration that you are for all of us. Folks, the Tech Expo that we've organized for you represents a very small chunk of the vast IT market of Uzbekistan. And don't worry, you'll have plenty of time to go around, backed up with our support, and find a company or companies best fit to go hand in hand with you in this promised land. Oops. Did I say it out loud? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Matter of fact, this is the notion used by one of the CEOs recently of a company that has successfully launched its business in Uzbekistan. The next presentation will outline all the reasons why an increasing number of companies are considering Uzbekistan IT market as the promised land. Now, I want you to concentrate on this one because this presentation will outline the main message we have invited you for. Consider this as the main dish. You miss the message in this presentation, you miss the point of coming here today. Now, this presentation will be delivered by a brilliant young man who once came to IT Park as a student and now heads the ITES export department in IT Park, my good friend, Sultan Murat Rasulov.
A very good morning to you all, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very much happy to see everyone in this wonderful event of Global Business Services Forum 2024. Before we start, my name is Sultan, as I was greatly introduced by a long-term friend of mine and a teacher. And I work and I proudly serve as the head for the Services Export Development Department at IT Park. And before we start, I wanted to say how thrilled and proud I am to be part of this wonderful community, of this wonderful organization that keeps helping businesses grow and keeps transforming the lives of people in Uzbekistan and the economic landscape in the country. So, in the last 5 to 7 years, Uzbekistan has truly undergone through major, massive transformations and the reforms. And these reforms have touched all aspects of our daily life. So be it the education, be it infrastructure, be it transportation, be it information technologies. And now, by the fact, Uzbekistan is seen as the top 15th fastest growing economy in the world. And did you know that there is an interesting fact that in half a year only, the GDP of Uzbekistan has risen to 6.4%. That clearly shows the economic stability of the country. And now it's possible to transfer the profits, the dividends, and the interest, or other income earned in Uzbekistan back to the home country without any obstacles, thanks to the free repatriation. Uzbekistan is the country located right in the heart of Central Asia, with a strategic location connecting both Europe and Asia. And that is the country where the Christians, Jews, Muslims, representatives of over 100 nationalities live together in peace and integrity. And we are a country full of remarkable opportunities. And that we are a country that will pleasantly surprise you. And you will understand why in the next slides. So, the population of Uzbekistan is on the rise. The population is more than 37 million people, which is almost half the size of the whole Central Asian population. We have a robust and growing population, and interestingly, every year our population grows to plus 1 million people. And very interesting thing is that out of the national budget, 1/5 of it is invested to the education. As the Honorable Minister mentioned, together with the help of the support of the government, we've been investing into the education a lot on creating a massive talent pool. And that clearly states that Uzbekistan is very much attractive for the longer term, for a long-term perspective, for the companies that are present here today. Back then when we started all this in 2017, there were only 23 universities present in Uzbekistan that would offer some IT courses, classes. Now we have 84 universities that are providing classes, courses in the IT field, be it software engineering, be it artificial intelligence, be it cloud services, and so on. And together with the government of Uzbekistan and our international partners, we have launched a couple of interesting projects, educational projects on a Republican scale. One of them is, for example, 1 Million Uzbek Coders platform that we did together with Coursera. And interesting fact is that a month ago, there was a publication by Coursera where Uzbekistan was ranked #1 in the ranking where governments invest in employee skills development. And we were championing this list together with Singapore and United Arab Emirates. And back then when we started with Coursera, it was just a small project which scaled up on a Republican level, and now we have over 1 million people who have graduated from various classes offered by Coursera, and these are all high school graduates. When it comes to the language potential of Uzbekistan, Uzbekistan is steadily becoming the multilingual hub. Me, for example, I speak 4 languages. And I was born, I was raised, and I was educated in Uzbekistan. And that is not something surprising. If you talk to the IT Park staff members, if you talk to the Ministry of Digital Technology staff members, if you talk to the younger generation, you may understand that they speak at least 3 languages. So Uzbekistan is steadily becoming a multilingual hub for the service-oriented companies, and different languages are being taught in the country. When it comes to the costs, we are not the cheapest, meaning in providing services, but very much cost effective due to the tax incentives and the cost optimizing schemes that we are offering that make us more competitive in the global outsourcing landscape. And the quality that you get for this price is comparable to the primest outsourcing destinations. And one of the cost optimizing schemes that I was referring to is Zero Risk Program. That is the program that is dedicated for the newly entering companies that don't know any information about Uzbekistan, where we as IT Park act to serve you, that you will forget about the capital expenditure of your company for the first entire year, and we take your risks so that you will tap into the market and that you may be able to test it out. And in return, we basically need 2 things from you. First is, out of that large, massive talent pool that we have prepared for you, we need from you to take that talent pool and cultivate them to your needs. And of course, increase the volume of projects that are being delivered from Uzbekistan. When it comes to the infrastructure, all across the country, we have set the high standards for ourselves. Of course, it's about uninterrupted power supply, ready plug-and-play office spaces. And here I would like to add one interesting fact, that 10 solar and power plants that were built in Uzbekistan have generated over 1.6 billion kilowatt hours of green energy. Isn't it attractive for the hyperscaler companies, for the companies that are working towards becoming sustainable? So that's another confident step to become for the sustainable and digital future. All this is not available only in the capital city of Tashkent, but also in the regions. In fact, in the regions, you can find the massive untapped talent pool. And some companies among our members of IT Park are establishing their Uzbekistani headquarters in Tashkent, while having their major operations run in the regions. And back to the infrastructure, based on your request, we can find the real estate that will meet all your requirements. We understand that today in this room, the companies are present who work and who have their offices in different locations. And each location has their own unique strategy, unique incentives. And I would like to highlight what makes us unique here is the taxing system. Before that, now we have over 2,000 companies who are the members of IT Park. But when we started, we were providing all these opportunities only for the IT companies, only for the companies that are doing software development. But if we want to become the IT hub, Surely we need to train the people. Surely we need to put a lot of effort on education. And now, interestingly, 1/4 of the member companies of IT Park are training companies that are preparing the talent pool for your needs. And since we're not only good in maths, since we're not only good in software development, but also multilingual, we have also started providing these incentives for the service-oriented companies. More than 800 service providers are the members of IT Park Uzbekistan, serving clients from all across the world. And this year alone, almost 150 foreign companies have joined the IT Park membership. And we have also introduced a project called Regional Headquarters. That is mainly when you provide services both in Uzbekistan and outside of Uzbekistan, and when the volume of service that you provide outside Uzbekistan exceeds 50%. And that is applicable to the company, regardless of their sector, regardless of what kind of service they are offering. If it's online, they can get the same privilege. So we have unprecedented tax incentives of 0% corporate tax rate. So among our resident companies, we have been conducting surveys on seeing how successful they are in their journey, how smooth is their transition, how smooth is their entrance to the market of Uzbekistan. And we were searching for the obstacles where we needed to react immediately to any issues, to any obstacles that are becoming the stop factor for the company's growth. And we were surprised that, some companies were not starting their operations in 8 weeks of time, where we were setting the standard of fully running our operations within 6 to 8 weeks of time. And that's why, thanks to the soft landing team at IT Park, we have a specifically dedicated team who will work with you side by side, searching any obstacles, resolving any issues that you may have, so that you will launch your operation successfully. Of course, not all of what we've said is good. There is also another side of the coin. There was a recent survey conducted by the Institute of Unhappiness in Uzbekistan, which stated that, unfortunately, the couples, the second halves, the beloved ones of the IT Park staff members are the most unhappy, are the most sad. Why? Because we provide all our love, all our support, and all our attention to you. Uzbekistan, where talent and affordability meets the world's simplest conditions and compliance. Thank you.
Sultan, my man. Thank you very much, brother. Now, the next person I want to invite to this stage has a very interesting story of engagement with us. This is a very rare expert, professional with over 25 years of experience in customer excellence operations, leading multiple teams across various functions, across various locations around the globe, having worked in companies like IBM, Exceed, France Telecom, Huawei, Concentrix, and so on and so forth, leading over 10,000 people in his team who saw what we were up to once, a couple of years ago, most of the things that Sultan just shown you. And he said, you guys, you are so easy to sell. What are you doing? He was so excited. He was so anxious. He grabbed his hair, which, by the way, he doesn't have. Yeah. And he said, move your butt. Make some space for me. I want to be part of this deal. And so he's now the advisor to the CEO of IT Park. So he is here to share with you precisely those reasons why he thinks you should do business in Uzbekistan. Ladies and gentlemen, please meet Mr. Ahmed Abulez.
Thank you. Thank you. I need a clicker. Yeah. Up and down.
Yeah, you just press.
Okay. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. These guys raised the bar very high for me here, but I'm very happy to be here, honored, and I thank you very much for your attendance. I think it's a very filled room. I think we definitely need that other building very fast. It is like the hottest day today in Uzbekistan, so I think I'm shining because I don't have any hair, so I'm sure I'm glowing on the stage. But thank you very much for attending today and being with us. Let me just go to the next slide. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm going to debunk some of the myths that we have about Uzbekistan. So when I was invited a couple of years ago, I knew nothing about Uzbekistan at all. I knew it was in Central Asia. I knew that it was a country, but I had no clue about it at all. And when I first came, I was so captured by the momentum and the energy of the people and the power and the willingness to want to succeed and get to that global stage that I wanted to be a part of this team. And I was fortunate enough in my career to be able to work in different companies and have that experience of being able to travel, being able to see different countries, being able to expand in different countries as well. And I've never seen incentives or government efforts like I've seen in Uzbekistan by the government. It is absolutely amazing. It's something to be proud of. I'm very proud of the teams that I work with. They're much younger than I am, of course. Like we know, it's 37 million people, 60% under the age of 30. But the passion and the energy that these teams produce is just unbelievable, really. It's capturing. And for that, I left my multinational corporate career and I wanted to join IT Park and be a part of that success and be a part of that growth and that dream and that vision, which is absolutely amazing. Here in some of the myths that people will think that Uzbekistan doesn't have the talent or doesn't have the skill or doesn't have the people. That's not correct, because you have people that speak multilingual, so different languages. You have all of the FIGS languages here being spoken. You have the different skills and backgrounds as well from the education sector, which is being highly developed and highly invested in as well. And you see the passion, and you see that the attraction when I talk to people. I'm based in North America, so I'm based out of New York. And when I speak to companies and I talk about Uzbekistan, they're like, wow, we never knew that there was talent, energy, passion, and success in a country like that. They hear about it, and some of the things that they are not educated on, I've kind of got them educated on. People who are not aware of Uzbekistan or the region. And there are a lot of people that are as well. So it's really, really, really good that we're able to have you all attend and kind of having us debunk some of the myths, let me say, of Uzbekistan. So as you can see, investment in education, educational projects. I think Sultan covered a lot of what I was going to speak about today, but just coming from my perspective. So I'm born and raised in New York City, Egyptian background as well, so I'm Egyptian as well. Parents are Egyptian. And it kind of makes me think, years ago when I was younger, when I would be asked in school, they'd say, well, you're not American, I said, yeah, I'm Egyptian too. They'd be like, well, in Egypt, do you guys move around on camels? So I'm like, no. There are cars, there's people, there's universities, there's schools. So people who are not familiar kind of stereotype it before you even know what the country's all about. But as you can see, investments in the education, 29 years is the average age, 21 million people, 1 million people growth every year, which is absolutely amazing, absolutely amazing. Foreign member companies, I think the slides skipped a couple, no? I think so. Okay, foreign member companies, we have about 529, over 2,000 companies today from 44 different countries, and who export services to 61 plus countries. So Europe, North America, Asia, Central Asia, all over the world. And with more than 10,000 employees today, plus in IT Park and across, not only in Tashkent, but also in the other regions too. And with a reported revenue of about $500 million, which is absolutely amazing in 2023. Okay, we skipped some slides. I gotta go back. Sorry. There you go. Okay. So, been experiencing rapid growth for the past couple of years. There's been a high investment since 2017. The government has invested heavily in IT Park, in the education system, in the growth of the people, in the skills, and thereby you will find the language capability that you're looking for. In my last position in Concentrix, I was responsible for strategic expansion, or EMEA expansion, and we would look and go to different countries and see where we can open up. And I've been with different government entities, I've sat with them, we want to open business, we want to do this. I have never seen incentives or government support or backing like I've seen in Uzbekistan by the team. It's from the president to everybody. It's just like Sultan said. People, maybe let me say the spouses of IT Park resident employees are not that happy because they really do give the love. And these people work 24/7. I mean, they are on fire. They're really, really a great team, and it's everybody involved. There's no difference between this person or that person. They are all highly skilled, all on fire, all very passionate for the country, which is something great, which you do see and sometimes you don't see. But the passion that you see here is just absolutely amazing. What I want to say in conclusion, Uzbekistan is a country with a rapidly developing business-friendly environment. With a workforce that's versed in several different languages and skill sets, they will be able to deliver that customer satisfaction that you're looking for. When you go to different countries, you're looking for price, you're looking for skill, you're looking for location, you're looking for technology, you're looking for infrastructure, and that's all available. That's all available here in Uzbekistan, and not only Tashkent, but the other regions as well. The reality is, these are the best incentives that I've seen in my career. And when I visited other countries, I have not seen anything like that. So you got the zero tax, you got the risk-free, simplified registration, there is no red tape, you can have your entity open up within 10 to 15 days. And IT Park helps you throughout that whole process, making it seamless, making it easy for you to do business. You have the skill, you have the talent, you have the language, you have the support of the government, you have all of the advantages that you would need to open up a business in Uzbekistan. Okay, so again, this is the slide that we were on before. Apologies for that. And the here. And then just I wanted to thank you very much for your time today. Thank you very much for attending. Thank you very much for coming. And we look forward to doing business with you in the near future as well. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Ahmed, thank you very much. We cannot express enough our gratitude for your trust in us. Now, Folks, there may be some of you who, having heard what Ahmed had to say in his presentation, may think, well, I'll take it with a pinch of salt since he's one of them. First, yes, he is one of us, and we take a great pride in this. Second, a businessman of this caliber would never commit to anything that he doesn't see value or trust in. But even so, we thought you might want to hear additional perspectives from however casual this may sound, one of you. So we decided to invite companies who once were in your seats but are now engaged in business with us. The next presenter I want to invite to this stage is a very valued partner of ours, because he's not just an executive representative of one of the well-known banks, but he is a part of our society. And I mean it, because he approaches the growth of his company with a sight on growing Uzbekistan as a whole. This is a trait that we consider, that should be used by a lot of companies as an example. Mr. Oliver Hughes, head of international business, TBC, is an exemplary entrepreneur with over 25 years of experience in building and developing fintech businesses in emerging markets. And in particular, he led as the CEO the Tinkoff Group for 15 years, from the launch to becoming one of the largest and well-known companies in the world. Mr. Oliver Hughes, the floor is yours.
Hello, everybody. It's great to be here. It's an honor to be residents of IT Park, and it's super to be able to talk to companies who are already in Uzbekistan, doing some very interesting things, as hopefully I'm just about to show you, but also to people who are thinking about coming to Uzbekistan. And it's a great honor for me to be a reference point for you people thinking about it. So I knew a little bit about Uzbekistan before I came to work in this market. I've worked in neighboring markets, and I actually came here way back in 1991, when it was obviously a very different country and a very different situation. But I hadn't really been following Uzbekistan closely. Over the last 18 months or so, I've been very deeply involved in Uzbekistan. And with TBC Group, I'll explain who we are in a second. And the stuff that I've seen has been really quite a revelation. I'm going to be focusing on the financial sector, on fintech, which is what I do. I build digital banks. I've done it in different parts of the world. And you'll see that there's quite a lot of surprising things going on in fintech, my particular space, which you just wouldn't expect to be going on here. So this is just a few recent headlines, because TBC Group, along with its partners, EBRD and IFC in Uzbekistan, recently invested another almost $40 million, taking our total investment just in TBC Digital Bank in Uzbekistan to around $150 million, and this is just the start. Yeah? So we're very serious about this market. So what's TBC? Many of you will probably not be familiar with this. It's a London-listed company trading on the London Stock Exchange. It's a Georgian bank, the biggest Georgian bank, very profitable, rapidly growing, doing very well. But Georgia's quite a small place, 3.5 million population. So a few years ago, my Georgian colleagues sat down and thought, we've got to start laying the ground for expansion beyond Georgia, because the Georgian population is not likely to become 37 million in the near future. So where do we go? So they looked around, thought about the capabilities of TBC, in Georgia, its people, and went through a kind of funnel process, a selection process. And at that time, Uzbekistan was already putting itself on the map because it was opening up, reforming, amazing socio-demographics, as we heard. Oops, sorry, that's me gliding through. And the selection fell on Uzbekistan. So I'll explain how we went through the path in a minute, but this is obviously an amazing growth opportunity for TBC Group. And I was very fortunate enough to be invited to help my colleagues scale the business here and grow something very meaningful and hopefully very important for Uzbekistan. It's already quite big, as you'll see in a minute. So let me just talk about some of the things happening here. So maybe Uzbekistan is not an obvious choice when you think about fintech, but that is actually a very misguided view. We're talking about myths here. It's just not something many people know about. So I built a very large publicly listed company in a different country. It was a $1.25 billion market cap. I built that from scratch with the team, and it was a digital bank. And those same investors are very surprised when I tell them about what's happening in Uzbekistan. So these are very large US funds, European funds, Asian funds from all over the place, South Africa. And just this slide says a lot. Yeah? So this is the fintech scene, very dynamic, very vibrant, very rapidly growing, very data-driven, tech-driven in terms of what's happening in Uzbekistan. So there's some unique things which are peculiar to Uzbekistan. For example, on the right-hand side, you can see Uzcard and Humo, who are the local payment systems. They offer API-based services to all of the banks and financial institutions in Uzbekistan. And as a result, over the last 15 years or so, open banking with a capital O, capital B has evolved in Uzbekistan. So through APIs, any bank can take transactional data, can offer PFM services, so the balances of people's accounts from other banks in their own app. They can draw funds from other accounts across the whole of the system. So this amazing payments ecosystem is what's driving a lot of the stuff that's happening in Uzbekistan today, and it's really quite amazing to look at. So it's worth taking a deep dive into if you have the opportunity. Off the back of that, on the top left-hand side of this slide, you can see PayMe, Click, PayNet. These are some of the P2P transfer aggregators and payment systems which have evolved based on this API infrastructure. PayMe is part of TBC Group. There are some digital banks. So TBC Uzbekistan, that's us. Branchless, pure digital, everything done online, mobile only, as I explain in a minute. Uzum, who are another very interesting player. It's an e-commerce marketplace with fintech built inside and lots of other verticals in its ecosystem. There's some amazing local players in terms of banking who are very digitally enabled, and lots of other stuff going on in BNPL, in consumer lending, in online payments, in crypto. So it's a very interesting and very dynamic space. So I won't go through all of these amazing socio-demographics. Again, all the speakers have been speaking about it and will be speaking about it, but it's, just the fact there were 1 million babies last year speaks for itself. It's quite an amazing number. But what I like about this is the fact that the average age is 29, as we've heard, and it's falling every year because of more and more people being born. And what this does is give this generational effect. So it's the cohorts of people who are coming up through the education system, through higher educational institutions, and coming out into the market and becoming economically active. And these people are obviously native users of digital services, including fintech and digital banking services. So the more we go forward, the better it gets. And it kind of accelerates in terms of the growth curve, which is really quite amazing. 50 million banking cards for a population of 37 million speaks for itself. Very online, very socially networked, and a very high penetration in the population of online and smartphones, and growing very quickly. So, about TBC. So I think we skipped a slide as well. No? Okay, so that's why TBC selected Uzbekistan. It's got all the right infrastructure, the right talent, the right socio-demographics, the right digital services, which I'll talk about in a second, which are available. There's an amazing e-government program. We are building a full-service digital bank. We started with deposits, digital personal loans, all of it's online through performance marketing, end-to-end digital onboarding using the My ID KYC service, which enables you to open accounts remotely, which is not something you find everywhere in the world by any means. I've worked in lots of different markets across Southeast Asia, Europe, and this is something which is rather special in terms of the speed. And we're building out SME services, transactional services. We have a very large payment, P2P service, and I'll give you the numbers in a second. You'll see the growth curve is quite amazing as a result of A, our internal capabilities, B, the whole of the infrastructure in the country, which enables us to do this. So, jumping around a bit here. Yeah, this one, the digital growth story. So the decision was taken to enter the market back in 2019. TBC Group took a 51% stake in PayMe, which is one of the largest payment aggregators and P2P transfer services, as I mentioned earlier. So it's mobile payments, which are online, e-commerce, utility payments, transfers, and offline payments. We then applied for a banking license, and we were very fortunate to be approved. We got a full banking license, which enabled us to take deposits, which is very important in our business model, and then launch consumer lending products. We've been growing all the way through. So if you look at the numbers from 1.8 million, 3 million, up to today, 15 million, give or take, in our ecosystem. That's registered users. And we currently have approaching 5 million monthly active users. So as you can see, it's been an amazing growth story in 4 or 5 years. We have a lot of the products that we want to offer, but we're building more and more, as I mentioned. So we're launching credit cards soon, a very high-value transactional product, current account debit card in the autumn, SME banking online, and tons of other stuff as we go beyond finance and move into things like content, entertainment, travel, insurance, and other complementary services. I should also say, just before I jump off that slide, that we were able to reach break even. So we had our first year of profitability in 2023, after 2 years of operations, which says something about what we're able to do in this market as well. So that was 2 years after operations for a neobank or a digital bank in terms of full profitability. That's quite amazing. There's not many banks like that in the world. So what's enabled us to do this? Talent. It's all about human capital. Without people, you can't build this kind of business. And Uzbekistan is very fortunate in that it has lots of very bright, very motivated, hard-working people. It's a superb place to be. This has been fueled by people in Uzbekistan. We need mathematicians, data scientists, risk specialists, product specialists, designers, obviously lots of engineers. Who we can find in Uzbekistan. There are returning Uzbekistanis, expats who've got experience abroad. And there's an influx of other talent from other markets for a number of different reasons who've been coming into the market in large numbers over the last 3-4 years. And there's also obviously the post-COVID phenomenon of hybrid working, which enables us to tap into all sorts of different talent pools. Inward investment, which has been mentioned many times today, I won't go into that. And a place that is open for business. Very welcoming, very supportive. IT Park doing amazing things, and we've heard a lot about that today. On to the next slide, which is my final slide, so just wrapping up. So we need more talent. all of the tech players, we're a tech player. So this is especially for you, I wouldn't be normally wearing this. The tech players need people. This is what feeds the beast. And fortunately, IT Park is leading this. The government are investing heavily in educational initiatives, training people abroad, giving grants, and investing in education, as we heard a lot about this morning. And that is what will support the local players in the tech ecosystem, the newer players coming in, hopefully some of you as well. And obviously, the more of us there are, let's say originally foreign companies, although we're building an Uzbekistani business, yeah? But the initial capital was from abroad. We develop the ecosystem ourselves. So the more of us there are, the more it raises the boats, along with the amazing Uzbekistani companies who are doing very interesting tech stuff as well. So let's continue to raise the boats together. And thank you very much indeed for having me here today. It's great to be here.
Mr. Hughes, thank you very much. We appreciate all the input that you personally and TBC is doing to the market of Uzbekistan. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to introduce to you the CEO and founder of Osiris and Dionysos, a company leading a team of 500 plus employees, a very active entrepreneur exploring opportunities all around the world, a tech businessman who started his operations in Uzbekistan this May and is already exporting his IT services to Morocco. Ladies and gentlemen, please meet Mr. Benjamin Denizard.
Not working. Yeah, it's working. Hello, everyone. So my name is Benjamin. So I will present you advantage and the opportunity for a French company, like my perspective of French companies. So let me introduce myself. So I do IT company specialized in WMS software. WMS software is like warehouse management system. We are based in Monaco and we develop WMS software since 10 years now, and we work with 500 people right now. Next one, please. So we do 1 million orders per month right now, but we will next year double the amount. So we'll do 2 million orders shipped per month on all our warehouse. And mostly of our customers are French, so 70% of one, but we have also Spanish, Slovakian, and Brazilian right now. And we started outsourcing in Uzbekistan since May, so it's very fresh for me to give it my experience on it. Yeah. No, it's working. Yeah. Yeah. It's okay. So with the last presentation you see, in Uzbekistan there is stable economics and political stability. There is also investment-friendly policy. As you see, there is some 0 tax percent for a company. And also there is competitive cost of living and wages, because right now everything is for renting is better than in France or Monaco. So I want to represent also some graphics for the population, as also we said previously. The population is growing 1 million per year, and I think it will achieve, in 10 years, reach the population of France, so it's a good point for Uzbekistan. And for the GDP, also I want to mention something, that because in France we have some bad news, and the GDP is not so well as Uzbekistan running, so it's a very good point for Uzbekistan as well. So we have also skilled workforce here in Uzbekistan. You also heard about it, but one thing to mention on it is that the cooperation, there is some cooperation with AWS, and Microsoft Cloud, and Google Cloud with the university here. So every people here is trained also on like cloud market. So it's very good point for if you want to hire some guys from to know about some cloud things. This is what we do also. Okay, next one is I want to mention that also there is good connectivity here. With my office, I have 1 gigabyte second per second, so I can like directly connect through our servers in Paris and also a country in Europe very quickly and good. And also there is modern data center that is currently building in Tashkent, so we will plan also to invest on it to like start some servers to start to market in Uzbekistan as well. So next one is for, I was speaking for the cost efficiency. So for France and Monaco, I almost like save 70% of salary expenses, and it's a very good point also, so I can hire more people here than in Monaco and France. And also one thing to mention, in Monaco, I cannot hire a lot of people because we have problem with space in Monaco. So it's a very good point to come here in Uzbekistan. Also, as I mentioned just before, there is operational costs reduced since the office is not as expensive as you can do in Paris or in Monaco. And also the service is also like very low. And as you know also, there is tax exemption in Uzbekistan with IT Park, so you will pay less things than in Europe, by example. And also there is like favorable type zone for cooperation, but I will speak this on the next slide. Because on my case, it's also a very good point for me. So I have done some like little comparison from Paris to Tashkent because together they are all capital of country. So if you do in Paris an office, it will cost you from 30 euros to 75 euros per square meter. But if you want like the lowest one, you will be outside Paris. So it's not very good point if you want to be inside the center of Paris. For developers, it's the same. It's also expensive. So in Paris, you will morely be at 5.5 euros per month because developer in Paris is very expensive since the cost of living is also expensive in Paris. And also the management is around 3K to 7K per month. So for a total, I made some calculation. I have in my case study, I can invest for now 10K euros per month. So with the Paris case, you can hire only 2 developers, no manager, and just rent a tiny office. So now I will compare it to Tashkent. So with Tashkent now, you can have an office between 10 euros and 23 euros, depending on where you want to place in Uzbekistan. The developer is very cheap. It starts at 400 euros to 1.8K per month euros. And the management also, you can start at 400 euros, but it will be junior, so it depends on your like story, if you want some junior management or like senior one. So you can go also to 2.3Ks. So I made also an example with my 10K euros per month I can invest, and right now you can, with 10K, hire 5 developers, 1 manager, and rent 1 office in Uzbekistan. So it's very better than Paris, of course. So now I will speak about my case study in Uzbekistan. So I made, when I choose to go to Uzbekistan, I made the company in half a day. So with IT Park, they helped me a lot during the procedure. And also my wife helped me because I don't speak Russian, neither Uzbek. So I need someone to translate everything because at the government side, I cannot speak English with them, with some people. Also, we found office in 2 days. So I've been research like one day and visiting all the office I see in another one day and sign the contract at the same day with the business center. For hiring process is also was very easy. I just post on the website called HH in Uzbekistan, and in 3 days I found like almost 500 CVs coming to my mailbox, do some filters and hire people in 3 days. And also for transferring money, this is an important good point for my company. So we can transfer euro from Monaco to Uzbekistan in 3 days, 3 business days, I mean. Also, one thing to mention that I said previously, that the schedule with the +3 jet lag from France to Uzbekistan is very good for us, since we do warehouse system management. All the warehouse tend to start very early at the morning because they need to process as much order they need to do before the end of day. Because after all the carriers and trucks are coming at the warehouse, so they need the orders before like 5, by example. So right now our cost in Uzbekistan is around 8.5k euros per month. So it's less than I need to invest, because I was planned to invest 10k, but now it's 8.5k. So it's very good also for me. And also one bonus is that the product manager I hire and I found speaks French. So we have some customer doesn't speak English at all. In France it's very specific also, so sometimes. So this is a good point that the project manager can speak with some clients in French. So after doing all the things in Uzbekistan, I just think myself of my company vision. And now I think I can plan to invest in Uzbekistan and try to sell my software also, because we are having like 10-year plus experience in WMS software with a lot of case study with the customers. So yes, I want to start in Uzbekistan to invest. And also here in Tashkent and Uzbekistan, there is a strategic location. Since with the jet lag we have only +3, it's very good for me in Europe, and I could also try to invest with CIS and my Middle East region. And also we are planning since now, because my vision evolved since I came in Uzbekistan, I'm planning to do new projects around WMS, like hardware things, robotics and so on. So also, when I start to go in Uzbekistan, I have a question about myself, because I have some partners doing outsourcing in Morocco. So this is a point that I want to mention to you also. In France, a lot of companies outsource to Morocco because it's very nearby. You can fly it in 1 hour to Morocco. But there is like also negative points of Morocco. So this is why I choose Uzbekistan than Morocco as well. So in Morocco, there is also salary is higher than in Uzbekistan right now. And also most of the Moroccan guys speak French fluently, Arabic language, but not very well in English as in IT part. And also outsourcing is more for customer service and not for like tech companies wants to develop software as me. And the most important thing is also that the government not support the IT company in Morocco than the Uzbekistan does. So yes, Morocco is doing like mostly tourism, so they have not any option to also help IT company to outsource here in Morocco. So the next question is what you're waiting for to invest in Uzbekistan, because for me it was a very great experience and I enjoy it a lot. So yes, this is the question for you guys not in Uzbekistan right now. And thank you for your attention, and if you have any question, I will be there around and I can answer all your questions about my experience in Tashkent. like a true experience and honest experience. Thank you all, guys.
Mr. Benjamin Denizard, please accept our deepest gratitude and appreciation. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to turn your attention to one very interesting company that has been created 15 years ago. 15 years ago by Mr. Ike Stranathan and his beautiful wife, Ms. Fiona Lideza. This fantastic couple has created 2,000 jobs in Philippines. They moved to Tashkent in March, and within 3 days, they had their operation going. They had their company running. Now that's what I call people of action. Ms. Lideza, madam, you have our fullest attention.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Is everyone still doing okay? All right. Let's keep up the energy. I know I'm one of the last speakers, so the pressure is quite high. Before I start, I'd like to ask a question. Who among you here are first-timers here in Uzbekistan? By raise of hands. All right, I'm actually one of those people. So as what was mentioned earlier, we do already have an existing company here that we've set up. So my life partner and business partner actually set it up back in March. So because I'm the last speaker for today, I will make this very quick and concise for everybody. My presentation comes in 3 parts. So I will be talking a little bit about our background, Staff Virtual, who we are. Next is our journey here in Uzbekistan, how we were able to set up our company, and finally, the path moving forward. So before that, I'd like to give a little bit of background about myself. So my name is Fiona Lideza, and I'm actually one of the youngest sales executive in the Philippines. So I started my career actually as a call center representative for Concentrix. So I was working for Amazon when I was 18 years old, so I was extremely young. A few years later, I became a sales executive, and I was able to sell $6 million worth of BPO my first year at 21 years old for an Australian BPO. Fast forward to today, I now run my own BPO company with my life and business partner, and we've hired over 2,000 employees all over the Philippines. And this is definitely something that we would like to replicate here in Uzbekistan. Now, who we are. Staff Virtual was founded back in 2009, so we're actually going to be celebrating our 15th year anniversary this coming September. Our headquarters are located in Florida and the Philippines, and now we're proud to say that we also already have our headquarters here in Uzbekistan. Our core services focus in IT outsourcing, back office support, and customer service. So majority of the employees that we have in the Philippines focus on back office support. So it's a lot to do with accounting, for example. We have engineers, we have customer support representatives. And one of the challenges that we've had over the years is definitely finding good tech talent in the Philippines. So when the opportunity came up to invest in Uzbekistan, honestly, I wasn't quite sure about that opportunity in the beginning. I didn't know enough about Uzbekistan. And so my partner, Ike Stranathan, decided to fly over here and explore to find out more about the country. So I'll go over the entire experience a little bit later on. So over the 15 years that we were in business, we've successfully served over 100 companies globally. And mind you, these are not small companies. We actually work with Fortune 100 companies. And some of these companies, in fact, we plan to bring over to Uzbekistan in order for them to see the amazing talent and opportunity for outsourcing here in this amazing and beautiful country. We've also hired 2,000 employees from the Philippines right now, and we see a roadmap that we can replicate here in Uzbekistan. So some of the multi-million-dollar companies that we've helped over the years are tech companies in the United States. Some we cannot disclose for confidential reason, but we do have some Fortune 100 and billion-dollar companies that we work with as well. So we focus with a lot of managed service providers. These managed service providers are IT companies that provide their services to larger corporations. And what we do is we basically provide customer support and technical support representatives for them. Over the past 3 to 5 years, we've actually received quite a lot of interest when it comes to developers. So Power BI developers, systems engineers, these are extremely difficult roles to fulfill in the Philippines. And not only that, it's extremely expensive. And I'll tell you a little bit more about our journey on finding some of these talent here in Uzbekistan in a very short amount of time. Now, expanding to Uzbekistan has been a very interesting experience. So first of all, I did not know a lot about Uzbekistan. Like some of you, I was also extremely reluctant. There's usually a negative connotation when it comes to countries that ends with the word "stan." So you would think perhaps Afghanistan and war zone areas. So that was one of our initial impressions. However, when my partner visited Uzbekistan, he was absolutely blown away with the people that he was able to meet. And with the experience that I've had over the past couple of days, I'm definitely happy to say that I can see a lot of similarities to the culture in the Philippines. The people are extremely hospitable. The talent can speak English. A lot of them are polyglots. They can speak French, they can speak Spanish. And these are demands that we see in the market in the United States. Hence, the opportunity to expand your outsourcing business here in Uzbekistan is not only limited to the tech talent. I see, in fact, that there's also people here that work in customer support and tech support. So why Uzbekistan? When it comes to outsourcing, there's definitely a lot of different motivations on why we want to outsource. Part of that is cost savings. Of course, we want to make sure that it makes economical sense for us to outsource. Secondly, the talent. We need to make sure that the talent is capable to fulfill the quality of service that our clients require. And third of all, the infrastructure. Does that country have the capability to serve the needs of our big customers? And these are the things that we've seen Uzbekistan can definitely provide. Now, first of all, the strategic location of Uzbekistan absolutely makes sense, it being in Central Asia. So because our headquarters is in the Philippines and in the United States, it looks like it's in the middle, so it's actually quite efficient for our directors, our managers, and our executives to fly back and forth. So when I saw this opportunity, I don't really think of Uzbekistan as a threat to the opportunities that we have in the Philippines. In fact, what I see is a synergy for us to work together and create opportunities not only in the Philippines, but in Uzbekistan as well. Because of the amazing programs that the Uzbekistan government offers, we see that there's a potential to cross-train, for instance, where we can train some of the employees that we have in the Philippines with the tech expertise that the people of Uzbekistan provides. The talent pool also is extremely impressive. As we've seen in the statistics earlier, majority of the talent pool are young. They're between the ages of 18 to 35 years old, which means only one thing. They're very adaptable, they're passionate, and they're tech savvy. And to share with you, yesterday, we actually toured some office options because we were just granted the zero risk program. And by the way, to those of you who don't know enough about this, basically the government of Uzbekistan will shoulder the cost of your offices the first year that you are in business here in Uzbekistan. This is a very huge advantage to those who want to invest here because they're basically taking away all the obstacles that you have in order for you to kickstart your business here in Uzbekistan. So when we were visiting these offices, I was extremely impressed with what I saw because they actually have BPO schools, BPO academies for young children ages 15 to 18. So we saw their operation and we see that even at such a young age, they're already exposed to business acumen. They're already exposed to the different processes that you see in a professional setting. So what I see here is not only the opportunity now, but what it looks like in the future. Uzbekistan has done a very good job in long-term planning. This is not just an opportunity that will benefit us in the short term. It's definitely more of a long-term strategy. Of course, we have the infrastructure. As far as the infrastructure is concerned, like I said, we've toured the different offices. I am definitely extremely impressed with what Uzbekistan has to offer. The internet is there, enterprise-grade facilities that is up to par with the standards of our partners in the global arena. So as far as the preliminary interest and market reception, we've already done initial surveys with a lot of the tech companies that we work with in the United States. And these companies already showed interest. And in fact, as we speak, we're already doing preliminary interviews with a lot of these tech talent. And the reception that we got is extremely positive, that we're now in the process of inviting some of these Fortune 100 companies to come over to Uzbekistan, hopefully in the next few months, in order for them to see for themselves what the country has to offer. So key areas of interest that we've seen in the market focuses on software development, cybersecurity, and data analytics, which are obviously some of the core strengths of the talent pool here in Uzbekistan. Now, as far as our North Star strategy and where we're headed, our vision is to become the leading IT outsourcing provider in Central Asia. Because we focus on managed service providers, we see interest to hire hundreds of talent in the IT space on an annual basis. And we couldn't fulfill it in the past. But now, because of the talent pool that's available in this country, we can now guarantee that the growth is definitely going to be there, not only for our company, but also for organizations across the United States. And of course, our mission is to deliver world-class IT services while fostering local talent and innovation. Now, for the short-term goals that we have here, of course, we're setting up our team. So we currently, I'm proud to say, we already have our country manager, and we've already hired our accountant. So we started with our back office team in order for us to start fulfilling the requirements of our client base. And for the long term, we want to, of course, expand our services across Central Asia and continuously innovate and adapt to market needs. So what we see for the long term is to take advantage of the fresh and young talent pool that we see today in Uzbekistan. So maybe right now they're still interns, but we know for sure that in a few years and in a very short amount of time, these people will be huge assets to tech companies. We truly believe as an organization in Staff Virtual that in order for you to future-proof your business, you need to be ahead of the curve. You need to make sure that you're involved in IT-related innovations, and that's something that we see in Uzbekistan. Now, before I end my speech here today, I would like to say that as far as the experiences I've had in Uzbekistan, I can truly say that this is the future of outsourcing, and the future is now. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Ms. Lideza, thank you very much. We admire you a lot and your work. We wish you much success, and we pledge our full support on your path forward. Ladies and gentlemen, as Ms. Fiona Lideza said, this was the last presentation from a company, from a set of companies we've invited to share their experiences with you. Before letting you go, we would like to reveal something very interesting to you. Now, everything that we offer now, everything that we've shown you in Sultan Murad's presentation is, you would consider it something like a front end. It's something visible. You have no idea what we are doing backstage. You have no idea how deep, how big we are going. Now, when going big, we go with Big Four, designing as a result one fantastic project upcoming. Now, we want to give you a heads up with this next presentation. This project, called Enterprise Uzbekistan, is aimed at opening the gates of our market to global largest tech companies. When implemented, this project will make everything we have shown you today fade and turn pale. To reveal this upcoming project, we would like to invite to this stage Mr. Paul Cohn, who has worked for 25 years for Ernst & Young.
Hi, everybody. I'm not as young as some of the other speakers, and I'm not in IT, so I'm not as familiar with these tech formats, so I'm going to have a podium here to do my speech, so I apologize for that. By way of introduction, as I explained, my name's Paul Cohn. I've actually been with EY over 30 years now, and I've been over 25 years in this region, so I'm very familiar with Uzbekistan and this region, so I've seen the rapid changes that Uzbekistan's gone through over the past few years. And before I talk about this project that we're doing with the Uzbek government and with the IT Park, I'd just like to point out that I actually oversee our global business services development in our region. And that growth has been phenomenal. So we provide, internally, we provide services to other offices within the Ernst & Young network, both across our own sub-region and now to further other parts of the other regions. So I can reaffirm what all of the other speakers have been saying, and that we are able to compete both on price and quality with our much larger outsourcing regions in India and the Philippines. And we've got exponential growth planned for our own internal GBS function, which we do here. And I can tell you that the preference for working with people from our region here to working with our colleagues in our Indian and Filipino practices is much higher, and we've got expressions of interest. So we're currently working with countries in Europe and with areas in the Baltics. We've got expressions from our UK and Nordics, and that's an area we see as being a huge growth area. So I just wanted to say that we are doing that, have been doing over the past few years, and we see that as an area of huge growth here. So now talking about the project that we're doing with the Uzbek government. So over the past decade, the Uzbek government's embarked on a visionary journey of digital transformation, as outlined in the program for the information and communication development. The adoption of forward-thinking strategies such as Digital Uzbekistan and the new development strategy of Uzbekistan, coupled with cybersecurity laws, have set a solid foundation for the nation's digital economy. The establishment of the IT Park, a special tax regime, as you've seen, for IT company startups, youth initiatives, is a testament to the government's commitment to nurturing a vibrant digital ecosystem. And along with the youth initiatives, we talked about education. I think we can all agree education, education, education is key, and the Uzbek government is certainly putting all of their efforts into developing that. So the initiatives like the 1 million Uzbek coders and the establishment of 215 IT training centres underscore the dedication to empowering the youth and the skills necessary to drive this digital revolution. Here we go. So as we embark on this new chapter of technological advancement, it's with great pride that I can share the recent collaboration between Ernst & Young and the IT Park of Uzbekistan. This partnership marks a significant milestone in our shared vision for innovation and progress in the IT sector. The centerpiece of this collaboration is the establishment of a regulatory sandbox, a pioneering initiative designed to foster a nurturing environment for innovation. This sandbox will serve as a proving ground for new ideas and technologies, allowing entrepreneurs and established companies alike to explore and refine their innovations within a supportive regulatory framework. EY's role in this endeavour is multifaceted and draws on our extensive global expertise. We're tasked with analysing the experiences of multiple countries that have successfully implemented regulatory sandboxes, and by distilling the most effective practices and lessons learned, we aim to tailor a sandbox model that's uniquely suited to the needs and aspirations of Uzbekistan. The analysis we're going to provide will extend beyond mere observations, and we will identify the most relevant experiences for Uzbekistan, considering the country's unique economic and regulatory landscape. This will enable us to pinpoint opportunities where Uzbekistan can leverage these global insights to unlock the full potential of the regulatory sandbox. The vision is not just about creating a space for testing and development, it's about building a foundation for sustainable growth and attracting international investment. It's about demonstrating to the world that Uzbekistan is not only open for business, but also a leader in creating an environment where cutting ideas can flourish. So as we gather to discuss the future of the global business services, I'm here to share insights from the forefront of this rapidly evolving industry. The GBS landscape is experiencing a seismic shift. I'm sure all of you who work in organisations have experienced this over the past few years. It's one that compels us to rethink traditional business models and embrace a new paradigm of operational excellence. GBS is one of the fastest growing areas in corporate development in driving performance across the enterprise. With 80% of businesses either committed to transitioning toward a GBS model, we're witnessing an expansion of GBS demand to grow from a market of 1.8 trillion in 2022 to a market of over 2.5 trillion in 2025. This growth not merely reflects a scale, but signifies a transformation of our enterprise's approach performance, efficiency, and innovation. And again, just to bring it back again on a very small scale to our organisation, this is something our organisation is very much focused on, and that we see that the growth of these global business services growing exponentially within our own organisation globally. And as I said, you know, we're a part of that. We're developing our own GBS centre here, and it's been extremely successful, and we plan to have exponential growth, servicing geographies not only in the near territories, but also as far and wide as Europe and the UK. Yeah, sorry, 1 second. There we go. Oh, now I've gone back one. Okay. All right, to slide 3, please. Go back 2. Sorry, I want to go back 2 slides. Apologies, yeah, that's it, thanks. So fierce competition forces, with increasing costs and investments, inflationary pressures, war for talent, business disruptions, is what's driving GBS adoption and enhancement. Yeah. So GBS is, oh, God. One time and wait, got it. Okay. That's good, thanks, yeah. So GBS is no longer an efficiency play focusing on cost optimization. It's become a cornerstone for digitization, workforce enhancement, and growth enablement. As we look at the advanced adoption of GBS, we see a trend towards customer-centric, digitized, and AI-enabled services that are creating new value curves and redefining customer experiences. So what are the... Again, sorry. So what are the top 5 priorities? Improving customer and employee experience, expanding scope with new capabilities, leveraging automation and smart technology, including AI, which will be an increasing part of this, and driving process performance. AI's role in GBS will be multifaceted and profound. It's the engine behind end-to-end digital process automation, the brains enabling digital service management, and the force driving process improvement. AI is not just an operational tool, it's a strategic asset that enables decision-making, predicts customer trends, and personalizes customer services at scale. GBS delivers value for all stakeholders. So for customers, GBS enables integrated technologies and enterprise applications, improve customer engagement, collaboration, and experience. For the employees, greater standardization of core operational processes and frees up resources for value-adding activities, skills upgrades. So again, many of you can probably attest who've experienced this. As with our teams, our model is involving moving out all of the lower-end work to the GBS and having our employees work on the higher-end, more interesting, improving the employee experience. Sustainability. GBS is emerging as a key ESG facilitator at many organisations. It's driving consistent data management and information flow, which enables analytics and insights on social value and insights of direct business activities for its external stakeholders. Finally, operational efficiency. So it enables organisations to realise savings through hyper-automation, digital end-to-end operations, scale, synergies, labour arbitrage, working capital improvement, and revenue leakage reduction. CFOs have been central to the organisation's GBS function historically. Now GBS is more cross-functional than ever, and it will be expected that other executives play a part in this process. So as we stand at this juncture, it's imperative for companies to recognise these trends and the transformational potential of GBS. The integration of AI, the focus on digital transformation, and the commitment to agile operating models are not just trends, but necessities for staying competitive in a global market. So in conclusion, it's time to rethink our business models, to leverage the full potential of GBS, and to ensure that we're not just participants, but leaders in this new era of business services. We believe in the future success of Enterprise Uzbekistan, and we fully support this initiative based on best practice. And as I've said, we will ourselves as an organisation be taking advantage of this, and we're already seeing exponential demand for these services. So thank you very much, everybody.
Hello? Yes. Well, thank you very much. We deeply value all the work that EY is pushing forward with us. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for the closing message, not the closing remarks, but the closing message, with an eye on an utmost importance of this message, I would like to invite a very important person who does not like to be called important. He hates to be called the CEO and refers to himself as the team lead, a person who works really hard on the backstage. He avoids fame as much as he deserves it and always pushes his team forward as winners, pushes the company residents of IT Park forward as winners. Ladies and gentlemen, the CEO of IT Park Uzbekistan, Mr. Farhod Ibragimov.
Good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, dear guests. Exact today, 5 years ago, IT Park launched the operation. Today, we turn the 5 years old. IT Park is 5 years old from today. Our congratulations for all team. Thank you for all the speakers, because I remember that times it was almost no one, only 2 companies, foreign companies, and both of them for the local market. Start the operation, get the residency from us, and it was almost nothing. Always we are we were promoting Uzbekistan at that time. Well, thank you very much for all of you that you share real experience about doing business in Uzbekistan. We are very proud of that. Thank you very much one more time. Thank you. The important things, probably today you saw and you will see during your stay many interesting schemes and advantages which you will not see probably in the another countries. And sometimes when we speak with the future resident companies, they are looking for the trick. What is the trick? Why? You have already very good tax incentives. That's incredible. But why you do all the schemes? Why you always update the legislation? Why you trying to be on date for competitive in the this big competition for finding the new job opportunities? And we think that we are look to the outsourcing what we are doing here, because specifically we are in charge of attraction of the foreign companies, FDIs to Uzbekistan. We look to this as art, as science. We try to get to benchmark the best experience from the world. And if we compare that, some of the countries do as the high schools, some the bachelors, we try to do as the PhDs. We pay attention to the all details, and sometimes the companies are scared. Don't be scared. This is our hospitality. This is our nationality. We are Uzbeks. We are always taking care of our guests. And we try to put all of our business as we do, as you will come to my house as the guest, and you come to the country as to my house. All of us, the most client-oriented people in Uzbekistan, I can say. So this is the big advantage. There is a vision is, with the mission, if it's possible, please. We are the crafting the world's finest condition for the offshore outsourcing. We pay attention to all details. And important thing is, could you please do the mission? Yes. Important thing is that we are trying to find that golden middle between the cost and the quality. We are the providing the services as nearshore outsourcing, as the quality, but the cost as the offshore outsourcing. That's middle, for the golden middle, what we want to achieve finally. And I hope you will be very surprised when you will see the new companies which already start their business, and very soon you'll be part of that. And we will take care, not only now, but after take caring will be one of our priority. We hope you will succeed in Uzbekistan. Please grow your business with us. Thank you very much for everyone for joining us. Thank you. Thank you. All team for the preparation, we spent a lot of efforts for to be prepared at this situation. Thank you very much to everyone. And the important thing, if we say that today is the birthday of IT Park, and today is the birthday as the founder of IT Park. Today is the birthday of the President of the Republic of Uzbekistan. I can say the hello, congratulator. In the same day, we have the 2 birthdays. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Farg'azad, thank you very much for a wonderful closing message. Ladies and gentlemen, everything that you saw today, everything that you heard today will remain as mere words, as mere presentations, unless you act. You have our team members at your disposal for any support you will need, but with an empty stomach, you're likely to stay inactive than active. So we invite you outside to have a wonderful lunch. That is after we take a group photo. Please remain in your spots, but standing. Can we have the lights on, please? All the lights on in the hall. And can we have a photographer here that'll magically fit in his lens the whole audience? The lights, all the lights on. Right. Can I please ask everyone on the first row to sit down so that we can see everyone in the back? That would be fantastic. Yeah, only the first row. Thank you very much, folks. See you outside.